look at this awesome looking enclosure. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Hello and welcome back to Bug Realms. On this channel we like to discuss all things creepy crawly, so if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel. So welcome back to another top inverts video. There are going to be a lot of these coming out, guys. I just want to let you know that they're going to be the main sort of source of my videos for a while, these and possibly some shorts. So this is a beautiful mantis den enclosure. Please go and check out Mantis Den if you haven't. If you like the look of this enclosure, there's going to be a lot of these coming through Realmfurb. A lot, right? Okay, anyway, that's enough said about that. So in these videos, if you're unaware, they're a prolonged version of my full collection tour. We're going to feature every single animal in the realm over the course of this year, or maybe even longer, showing the animal off and rating them in categories. Now, backstory, we always start with backstory. This is Bruce. Now Bruce has only featured in, I think, a Spruce for Bruce video where we gave him an upgrade home, which he's now been upgraded again since then, and we might have featured him in the odd feeding video, or maybe when I first got him. I don't remember, I'm not sure. But the backstory is Bruce, he actually came to me. I say he, I'm pretty sure it's a female, but Bruce was already named Bruce when I got her. She came to me from a friend at work. I'm not going to give you their full personal details of why they had to give up Bruce, but they did raise Bruce, and one of my friends at work decided that it was time to pass Bruce on and asked if I would like him / her, and of course I jumped at the chance to get myself a Grammy. I like Grammostolas. This is a Grammostola porteri, I believe. So it is a Chilean rose, but it doesn't have quite the same coloration as your red roseas, so we're going to go with Grammostola porteri here. I absolutely love this tarantula. So we're going to jump straight into the categories now. So appearance. What is there not to like about a Grammostola porteri? Now, Bruce has not molted with me for well over a year, so the pink on the carapace is not going to be so vibrant for you guys in this footage as it really can be, but they remind me of biscuits. Biscuits. I want to eat Bruce, right? I would love to just crunch on Bruce. On a serious note, I don't want to eat my animals. But those tones, those beigey tones, look like biscuits to me. And with that pink, it's almost like having a kind of strawberry topping on that biscuit. I don't know why, I'm mental, right? Bruce, you look edible, dude. Like, just tasty tarantula. Now, having that pinkish tones in with those biscuity browns, I'm going to rate Bruce at a 7 out of 10. I think if he didn't have the pink, he or she, well, I'm going to keep changing that through this video, didn't have the pink carapace, we'd probably be looking at around a 4, but that pinkness with those biscuity tones certainly boosts it up for me. So 7 out of 10, what do you think of that, Brucey boy? Brucey girl, whatever. I think 7's a reasonable score for you, you little beaut? It's only recently been housed into here, so yeah, I'm not going to disturb him or her much longer. I'm going to try and get through this video and pop them on a shelf. So now visibility. Now Bruce is a pet rock, as I like to call it. Bruce sits there out in the open. Now I've provided a bigger, newer hide for Bruce in here, but whether he or she will take to that hide, I don't know. At the moment, Bruce is sat right on top of the bark, and he only went into the hide when I first popped him or her in there, kind of scuttled in there for about 15 seconds and left. In the previous enclosure, which is down here, you can see the difference in size. This is still 20 something centimetre cubed, 2022. Always out in the open. In fact, buried its hide. So I'm going to give it a straight up 10 out of 10 for visibility. What do you think of that, Brucey baby? Now, if you want a tarantula you're going to see all the time, get yourself a Grammostola, especially a porteri or rosea. Yeah, we're doing well, aren't we, bud? Right, pretty good scoring for Bruce there. Get to see him or her all of the time. So now we're going to feeding response. Now, I'm sorry, Bruce Bud, but you're not going to score massively high on feeding response. It's not very food responsive. You can see in this clip, that's me adding his fresh water dish to this enclosure. No movement. That was that few, like 15 seconds he was in the hide. Now, I didn't get footage of this, but even when he scuttled out, I was kind of patting down a bit of the soil that got loose when I placed him in the cup. And he still didn't respond to my hands. Now, I do not recommend anyone sticking their hands in a tarantula enclosure like I did, but I know Bruce's temperament very, very well. Only once has he seemed food responsive towards me. The rest of the times I have been able to pop my hands in there, and the previous owners did used to handle Bruce as well and never had any issues from him. Now, Bruce hasn't eaten with me for a few months, but has still got a pretty chunky abdomen. So Grammostolas do sometimes fast, or so I've heard, but this is my first adult Grammostola, so it was a new experience to me, and he ate a lot when I first got him or her, and then slowed down. Whether that's going to be early signs of pre-molt or something, I don't actually know. I've not properly looked at the signs of pre-molt for Bruce, but it stayed chunky without eating all this time. You looking at molting Brucey Bud? It's hard to tell under that biscuity bum of yours. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to go straight out in the middle with a 5 out of 10 on this one, because it was good at eating when I first got it, and now it's slowed down. But it's also not a very exciting eater. So I don't think I've got footage of feeding of Bruce on this video. If I find a clip, I'll add it in now. If I don't, I'm sorry, failed you. But it's pretty much a quick grab and done. Not really that interested in food. So yeah, sorry dude, not a massive one for a Brucey boy there. So the next category is cost. I do not really buy Grammostola. I like them, I don't buy them. These used to be as cheap as a pint in the old days because they were readily bred, readily available, but when people stopped breeding them, they became less and less common, and now their prices have shot up. You're looking like £20 a sling. You're probably looking at over 100 a guess for an adult, maybe not an adult male, but adult female, certainly more than £100 in my opinion. I could be totally wrong there because I just don't see them. I don't see them as adults. So I'm going to go in with a 4 out of 10 on this, because the higher the cost, the lower I give it on a scoring. So these scores are based on my personal keeping, and I don't like to spend out unless I have to, right? I'm not all about this is an expensive tarantula, so I've got to own it to prove a point, make myself a big boy. You know, that's not the way I work. I get an animal because I want that animal. So the higher the price for me, the lower the scoring tends to be. But Bruce, of course, was free for me. So if I wanted to rate him, we'd give him a 10 out of 10. But if I was looking for another Grammostola, we're going to go in like we're going to have to go in that 4, because it's a bit over the price range I would like to pay for a tarantula. So next we're going to go through behavioural characteristics. Well, there ain't much happening there for Bruce. Bog standard pet rock, really. Sits there all day. When he was eating, would eat. Never witnessed him drink, although he always has a full water dish. There's nothing really interesting about his behaviours as such that I can think of. He's a pretty chilled out boy. So because it's not interesting, I'm gonna have to score you super low at a 2, dude. 2, because there's no aggressive or defensive behaviours really from him. His overall attitude is chill. Now, if I was looking for a full collection of chill tarantulas, he'd hit me at a 10, but I'm basing this on, you know, like either attitudes or the way that they would web or the way that they would strike or the way that they would feed. Like, it would all be combined into whatever behavioral characteristic I could think of that tarantula. Now, like, I've got like my Orphanaceous there, it's got some really interesting ways he feeds. He's very, very food responsive. I've got other ones that are heavy webbers, which is a really cool, like, uniqueness, a cool behavioral trait. But Bruce, there is just literally nothing I can tell you about him. I'm so sorry to score you low on that one, but I love a calm tarantula, but it's not exciting. It's not a behavioural characteristic that's worth talking about, that he's a pet rock. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? If you're a keeper, you'll know exactly what I mean. If you're not a keeper, but if you want yourself a biscuity, beautiful, tasty looking tarantula that's possibly gonna not really have an attitude, that's going to be visible all the time, really should get yourself a Grammostola. However, there are specimens of these that do have attitude problems, that are very food responsive. These are like the Marmite of beginner tarantulas. To some people like Bruce here, perfect beginner tarantula. You're safe, he's safe, everything's easy, it's a wonderful pet. You get yourself a different specimen, you could be looking at something that you'd put more at an intermediate level for keeping. They are really specimen to specimen different. So I cannot sit here and say a Grammostola is the perfect beginner tarantula, but my Grammostola is a perfect beginner tarantula. You see what I'm saying? So do your research, guys. Look in other people that keep Grammies, see if that's really one for you. But if you get a specimen like Bruce here, there is no better tarantula out of my entire collection to be a beginner than this particular specimen right here. I love him so much, so much. So that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it, Bruce? You see what I mean? You just don't care, just sat there like, I'm talking to you, dude. You just be a biscuit. So there we go, that's it. I'm going to call it an end now. Again, look forward to the shorts, look forward to these videos. If none of these kind of things are your cup of tea, you're going to have to hold out till Realm Verb's done, although I might be able to chuck one unboxing in somewhere, because I have a purchase from before Christmas that's due to arrive soon. Yes, there's actually a lot going on behind the scenes here. But we're not going to talk about that now. I think I'll prolong this video far too much. I've spilt water all over my floor. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Bye bye. Do you guys want to see what else dwells within the realm? If so, make sure to pop back weekly for multiple videos. My usual upload days are Wednesdays and Sundays, so I'll see you guys there. Oh, and one more thing. If you want to become a disciple of the realm and have your name shown on the screen like these lovely people, you can do so in one of two ways. You can scroll down the screen now and hit that join button next to the subscribe to be a channel member. Or alternatively, you can follow my link in the description below to my Patreon page. Both methods grant you access to my private Facebook page, where we like to discuss even more things creepy crawly. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.